Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my last of my Movie Monday review series that I'm going to be doing today. And this one is called Children of Heaven. And a lot of you probably have never heard of this movie. Maybe some of you have, maybe some of you haven't. That's because this is a foreign film. Um, this is an Iranian movie that came out in the 1990s. Um, and it wasn't released here until 1999. So a lot of people probably haven't heard of this movie, but if you've never seen it, you really got to watch it because it's a great movie. Actually, it's an excellent movie. I really enjoyed it. Um, the whole movie though is foreign. It's in um, Persian, um, but it's still really enjoyable to watch. I never really watched a foreign film before, mainly because I've never really had to, and I never really had the desire to. Not anything disrespectful. I just never really thought about it. But um, in my film is in society class, this was one of the movies that we watched, and I found it to be really enjoyable. I talked about this when I did one of my Fear the Walking Dead reviews because that was kind of a foreign film in a way. Um, Watching a foreign film kind of is really good because you're really paying more attention because you got to make sure you keep in contact with the dialogue. But I actually kind of think that it really brings the attention how great a show can really be sometimes because you kind of can focus not only on just reading the subtitles but kind of on other things around the subtitles. So I really enjoyed watching this. Um, but let's talk about the movie itself. Um, Now you can obviously see that there was a common theme from the movies that I was watching in my film and society class. The same guy that directed it also wrote the movie. It was Majid Majidi. I'm not going to be able to say Majidi. I'm not going to be able to probably say some of these names because um, a lot of them are Iraq names, and I just won't be able to pronounce it. So he wrote and directed the movie, and this was produced by Amir Effensdala and Muhammad Effensdala, the Effensdala siblings, family, whatever they were, and the music was done by Kelvin Jaden um, Jahan Ashi, and the cinematography was done by um, Pulves Makanzadi. It was edited by Hassan Dost, and the production company for this movie was the Institute for the Intellectual Development of Children and Young Adults. That's a weird production company name, but that's the production company. This was distributed by Miramax Films, and this was released um, at a Flower Film Festival, which I'm assuming is a film festival in Iran, um, at some point in February of 1997. And this movie, in United States dollars, anyways, had a $180 million budget. I don't know how much that's worth in Iran money, but um, I guess I'll never know. But I'm gonna kind of structure this movie review series kind of the same way as I did Half Nelson because the storyline is much bigger than me trying to go through this scene by scene. And I'm not gonna when I go through the cast too. I'm not gonna try to say everything that they were in because I'm starting to find that makes the videos really long and really stressful. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna read the names so that way I can remember them though. But pretty much what this movie's about, it's about a family and kind of looking at a country that's in poverty, um, which I thought was awesome. Um, well, not to what I obviously felt bad, but I'm just saying it was kind of a nice perspective way of looking at it. Um, you could kind of see that these people are going through a bad poverty type of time, and I thought that this movie really kind of it shows you a lot of what people go through when they're in poverty. Um, But I also thought it really did a good job of kind of making me feel grateful for what I have. Um, but the movie starts off with the main character Ali, um, and he's getting it actually starts off he's getting his a new pair of shoes for his sister, or not a new pair of shoes, but shoes shown shoes shown shoes sewed for his sister. Easy for me to say. And then he goes and buys groceries at the market, and um, he ends up losing the shoe, and he tries to find it, but he knocks down a ton of um, fruits and vegetables. So um, the food seller sends him away, um, and when he goes back home, we can just see that the um, what do they call it? The manager of the apartment that they live in um, wants the rent, but Ali's family doesn't have the money um, to come up with the rent, and we can see that this family's really got to help out. Zahara and Ali have to really help out and do chores, um, and they have um, a um, a new baby that looks like it's just been born, and mother is not supposed to be doing anything. Um, they're supposed to because she's injured. So yeah, so um, you can just kind of see that this family is in total poverty. Um, and Ali tells Zahara that he lost her shoe, and Zahara gets really upset about this and wants him to find her shoe because um, of, they're afraid that their parents will get mad, and they don't really have a lot of shoes. So he tries to go find it, but then the food seller sees him again and chases him away. And later on in the night, um, father was upset that Ali really didn't do much to help out with the house, and he's yelling at him, saying that you're not a young kid anymore. You're a man. You gotta start helping out around the house. And he just starts yelling in frustration. Um, and from this scene, we were supposed to have thought that this guy probably was just an old drunk who really didn't care about anybody else. But as the movie progresses, um, your perspective gets changed. And then later on in the night, as they're doing their homework, Zahara is worried about um, how she's going to get to school without shoes on. So Ali offers for her to borrow his shoes, and um, they're going to switch back and forth with shoes um, throughout the days in school. And the first day it goes fine. Um, but Zahara doesn't like them because they're dirty, so they end up cleaning them off. But then it rains later on the night, and they realize that the shoes are going to get wet, so Ali goes out to get them. Um, and, um, you know, then the second day, um, Zahara ends up while she's running, ends up dropping her shoe into the um, into the vent that has like a ton of water in it, and into the pipes, I should have said, and she ends up losing it. So um, a seller gets it for her, and um, then then that's pretty much it for that. I was trying to remember what else happened, but we also find out that Ali really feels bad, and Zahara doesn't like the fact that she has to wear these shoes. So Ali feels bad. So his teacher, who gives him a golden pen because Ali scored really high, one of the highest in his class on a test, and he gives it to Zahara, which I thought this was very meaningful because it was a very nice brotherly thing for him to do, and it kind of made them feel good. Um, but something else that's been happening as this movie progresses is Ali, no matter how fast he runs, when they go to trade off shoes, Zahawi doesn't always get there right in time, and it makes Ali late for school. So the principal has noticed him a couple of times, and um, Ali, he lets it go the first time, but then the second time, um, he catches Ali, and he wonders how his shoe got wet because this is when the shoe had fallen into the fountain, and Ali says um, he dropped it in the river. So he lets him go the second time, but he said that he'll kick him out if he's late again. So he's late a third time. And I liked this scene because you didn't think the principal was actually going to be there when Ali tried to sneak upstairs. The principal caught him, and he tells Ali to go home and bring his father, but his father's working, and he doesn't want his father to have to be pulled from work because um, it loses chance for him and his family to make money. So and then then the principal has him asked him to bring his mother, but he doesn't want to bring his mother because she's injured. So he just kicks Ali out, and then Ali's teacher comes up and sticks up for him and said that he's one of the top students in this class, and he begs the principal to give Ali mercy, and the principal does, and tells Ali not to let him regret it. And then, so I like that scene a lot. And a lot of people probably thought it was stupid that that they kind of built this storyline around the fact that Ali, and Zahara were just sharing shoes. But I kind of thought this was very symbolic. It's symbolic to the way because it just kind of shows how much poverty this family's in, that they have to pretty much share shoes, and they have to pretty much um, you know, because if it happened to somebody like me, I easily could just let um, my family know about it, and they'd probably buy me new shoes. Not right away, but probably within the next week. Since this family's so poor, this they pretty much have no money to go buy any more shoes. So I thought it just kind of was showed some very nice symbolism with that. And I did kind of like the scene where Zehara ends up dropping the shoe in the water, because what this movie kind of has is it kind of um, makes reality happen. Pretty much, it kind of lets everybody know that sometimes life's just a real bitch. Sometimes, where something like that happens, or there's something later on in the movie that ends up happening. So, what ends up happening is we find out that, well, we already know, but I just didn't bring it up. Ali's father makes tea at a store, but it's not enough money where he can where he can provide for his family. So he looks to get other work, and he ends up getting other work. He he wants to do a gardener as by himself um, for a rich community, and it was a completely different to watch the rich community compared to the poverty community. It was like um, you know um, it was completely different. I can't really think of an explanation. It was like um, cats and dogs, pretty much. Um, and um, uh, and father continuously asks for work, but he continuously gets denied work, and eventually somebody gives him work, and he ends up doing the gardening, and Ali ends up playing with the kid. And I kind of like this because this kind of showed that Ali got to kind of live somewhat of a childhood for a little bit, because you can kind of see that Ali's kind of had to be all business because he lives in such poverty. And we find out that this kid's name is um this kid's name is um Alawaza. I don't know if that's how you say that, but Ali Visa. Um, and he pays him, um, and father's really happy about this, and he talks about all this stuff that he's gonna buy for Ali since he feels like um, he's on top of the world. And then the bike crashes into the tree because the brakes stop working. And like I said, it just kind of is one of those dumb luck things that ends up happening. And I liked that scene as well. And then what happens is Zehawa notices um, a woman who we find out name is Roya, has stolen her shoes. And I think Zehawa was about to go confront her about it. She was going to go to a house, but she pretty much sees that she kind of lives probably in worse poverty than she does because she lives with a family where the father's blind. So she just kind of lets it go. I kind of liked it because it was pretty believable. Um, and then she ends up dropping a pen the next day, and Roya tries to give it to her, but Zehala runs away because she was trying to switch shoes with Ali. And then the next day, she ends up giving it back to her, and they have a conversation talking about how her father bought her brand new shoes, but um, but threw the other ones away. And Zehala gets upset about this because they were shoes that were hers, and since they live in such poverty, they should cherish those shoes. Um, I like this scene a lot. Um, and then the ending of the movie. Then it pretty much comes to the end of the movie. Everybody finds out about finals, um, for school and stuff like that, and testing. And then Ali finds out about this 4K1 race that he's going to attend, and how third place is going to get brand new shoes, and Ali wants to enter this race and be in third place so he can win his sister those shoes. And his sister's worried that he's not going to come in third place, and Ali says, "Trust me, I'm going to come in third place." And he starts running the race, and I liked the race a lot. I like the music and the tone that they showed in the race. And Ali does whatever the best he can to come in third place. I liked it a lot because Ali would go really fast, and when he was about to come in first, he would slow down a little bit. But of course, Ali tried like hell to come in third place, but he ended up coming in first. And it was kind of a win that he won the race, but a loss for him because then he couldn't win his sister those shoes. And I love the scenes where they take the pictures and everybody's so happy that he won. He won for his school, but Ali's just so upset that that he was unable to win the brand new shoes for Zahara. And I just thought the scene was done really well and was shot really well. Um, and then we find out though that father has bought brand new shoes in his bag for his children. And I did talk about this earlier. In the beginning of the movie, we were supposed to have thought that father um, was this bad drunk, but you could actually see that he was even kind of a good person in this movie. The reason why he was flipping out like that in the beginning of the movie is not at his kids, but he was frustrated with himself because he feels like he's unable to provide for his family, and he loves his family. He wants to provide for his family. Um, and I do kind of think it's weird though that they have a television because they have to watch advertisements of people having all this nice clean stuff, which isn't true, and make them feel bad about themselves. So I did kind of like that scene that scene was included in there as well. And that was pretty much the end of the but well actually no, that wasn't the end of the movie. The end of the movie is Ali goes and tells Zehala that he didn't come in third place, he didn't win the sneakers, and they're both really upset about it. And the movie ends with Ali soaking um, his feet into the in the um, pool. They have like a little river that in front of their house, and they have like these fish in the river, and anytime these fish were shown, it was a couple of times. It was kind of like shining light, kind of like that was supposed to represent peace. And I actually kind of thought that was a really nice scene that they added in this movie. Um, and that was pretty much the entire movie. And I gotta say, watching this movie, I thought it was fantastic. Um, I felt good coming out of this movie. And can I say that this movie ended on a positive note? I can because um, even though they didn't get out of their poverty, it just kind of was nice to see a family in this state, and you could kind of see that um, Ali and Zahara really didn't fight with each other all that much. They, um, you know, they got along really well as siblings, and that could be me. And I think the reason for that is because they're in such poverty, they realize that all they have is each other, and I think that's something that I take for granted a little bit. Sometimes, I would fight constantly with my sisters, and it's kind of interesting that the people that have nothing are able to get along with their family. Now, you could say that's just how the movie represents it, but it is kind of nice to see um, siblings actually getting along like that. I think that's actually really nice. Um, but let's talk about um, letter grade for this movie. I'll get into that. This movie was fantastic. I really would recommend watching this movie. You actually would feel good kind of coming out of watching this movie, and you could say some of the storylines are very a little goofy, like with the shoe scene, but I feel like it was nice symbolism to kind of show how the kids would react being in poverty like that. Um, so I kind of thought this movie was fantastic. It felt very realistic, um, and I just thought it was a very nice story. So if I had to rate this movie, I'm gonna give it an A minus. I thought it was a fantastic movie. Out of the three movies I've watched in my film and society class, um, for these past 3 weeks, this has been my favorite one so far. And if this is not even the best one, I can't wait to see what the best one's gonna be. Um, so yeah, so that's pretty much my letter grade for it. Now let's talk about what how the movie actually did. Um, so yeah, the movie came out. The production for this movie too, like um, I think this felt very realistic too because um, nobody told anybody that they was filming a movie. They wanted to kind of make this feel like it was a realistic place, and I thought that actually really made the movie. I thought that was a great idea. Kind of wish more movie makers would do this. For certain movies, I wouldn't want it to happen for like a slasher movie, but obviously for certain movies. Um, but this movie made in U.S. dollars, anyways, $1.6 million. Um, because the movie originally was released in 1997 and it estimated $180,000 in U.S. money, but then they re-released it in the United States on January 22nd, 1999, and they earned for the U.S. box office total um, $933,933, and then worldwide they earned 1,628,579. So that's really a really successful movie right there. Um, but um, as for what the critics thought of this movie, they praised this movie. They gave it a what did they give this movie? Hold on, I'm just kind of looking. Gave it like a nearly perfect movie. Um, I'm just kind of reading these reviews real quick because I didn't. But the critics pretty much gave high praise to this movie. It's critically acclaimed. As for what everybody else thought of it, um, I had this ready earlier. I don't know what happened. Um, the movie on IMDb um, got an 8.6 rated out of 10, I believe. Um, or 8.3. Well, it was close enough. Um, the highest grade that it was given was a 10 out of 10, and the lowest grade it was given was, I think, I mean, a lot of people gave this 10s. I see some 9s. I see some 8s. Um, I'm not reading the reviews. I'm just going by the numbers. But no one really has given it like a bad review. It's getting a lot of 9s, a lot of 10s. Um, no one's given this movie a bad review, really. So I think this movie must have done something right. So yeah, fantastic movie. Let me go over the cast, and like I said in my last video, I'm just gonna read the cast's names. If you want to know what other stuff they've been in, you can just look it up for yourselves. It's gonna be really hard for me to read it, but I'm gonna try. Admir Farouk Hashman played Ali. Behar Siddiqui played Zahara. Um, Riza Naja played father. Um, Fahishti Sarah Bandy played mother. Um, Darish 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 Mark Hatara played Ali's teacher. Um, Nafiz Jafar Muhammadah played Roya. Um, Muhammad Hassan Hosanin played Roya's father. Muhammad Hassan Shadi played Risi. Um, Kaysam Asquarpour played grandfather, which I would assume was um, Allah Weezy Weezy grandfather, and Christopher Melaki played Salt Cellar. I probably just butchered those names awful, but whatever. That's pretty much my review of Children of Heaven. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 movie Monday review series I just gave you. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell. So that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers YouTube channel. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.